Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to this Monday morning with business coach Moloy. And we start off this Monday or this week on a very, very positive note. And apparently, there has been some kind of a conclusion that is coming up to this US Iran Middle East conflict. We don't know why it happened. We don't know what has been achieved by doing this. But what we know is a lot of Indian businesses, a lot of businesses around the world had to undergo strife because of this the situation that came up. Everything prices went up, commodity prices went up, raw material prices went up, especially related to the petroleum product raw materials. Plastic industries were affected. A lot of strife over the last 4 months. But thankfully, it's coming to an end, and we can now look forward to the rest of H2 26-27. Not that things are going to change from today itself. It will take another 60 days or so for things to stabilize. But the good part is that at least there is light at the end of the tunnel. People can now start planning their businesses on the basis of certain amount of certainty and predictability. Uh, the other good part is Action Coach Global is having their annual meet in for all the coaches in Goa this year, and I think that meet this year would be based on a lot of optimism rather than pessimism. If this conflict had not come in, so about 200 odd coaches from around the country, around the world would be here. And we will keep you posted about what are the new things that the business coaching side is coming up with. I can tell you that as far as we are concerned, Beyond Red Ocean Consulting, with as the partners of Action Coach, newer things will get launched, and we are very excited for the rest of the year. So let's see how it goes. We will keep you posted. But today we have we have an agenda, and the agenda is part four, episode four of scaling up, of the challenges of scaling up. So over the last three sessions, we have been discussing something that entrepreneurs experience but rarely stop to examine. We spoke about why growth feels heavy. We spoke about the founder dependency trap. We spoke about why hustle doesn't work at a certain scale. And this is something that I was talking to a prospect of ours in Kolkata on Saturday. He's a young chap. In the interior designing space, and he says, sir, सब कुछ तो मुझे ही करना होता है because I can't give it up. A similar conversation happened in Surat a few couple of weeks back, with a lady who is a designer. She says, every product is my soul. Now, understandably, every product or every service is the soul of the entrepreneur, but that doesn't lead to scalability. So today I want to talk about something that sits underneath all these three challenges. And in fact, if I had to identify one reason why many growing businesses eventually become difficult to manage, it would be this. The business is growing, but the organization is not growing at the same speed. And when that happens, growth starts creating problems instead of creating freedom. So let's talk about two entrepreneurs meeting after a year. One says house business, the other, and the response immediately comes up, fantastic revenues up 35%. Everyone smiles, everyone congratulates him, and rightly so. Growth is good, growth should be celebrated. But then imagine we continue the conversation for another 30 minutes and a different picture emerges. Customer complaints have increased, collections are getting delayed, team is constantly under pressure, people are leaving more frequently, the founder is working longer hours, departments blame each other, communication is breaking down, and then suddenly we realize revenue has grown, but the organization has not grown at the same pace. Many entrepreneurs assume that growth automatically makes business stronger. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't, because growth magnifies everything. If your systems are strong, growth rewards you. If your systems are weak, growth exposes you. Think about that for a minute. Growth is like turning up the volume. Whatever exists inside the business becomes louder. Strong culture becomes stronger, weak culture becomes more visible, strong communication becomes more valuable, poor communication becomes more painful, strong leadership becomes more important, weak leadership becomes more dangerous. And I remember having this conversation with an entrepreneur who had experienced tremendous growth over a 3 year period. New customers, larger orders, expansion, everything looked wonderful. But when we sat together, he looked exhausted. And I asked him what was wrong. And he said something very, very interesting. He says, well, 3 years ago, we were smaller, but we were in control. Today, we are bigger, but everything seems like firefighting. And that sentence perfectly describes the unstructured growth. The business expanded, the operating model did not expand. Complexity by itself is not a bad thing, it's natural. A larger business will have more complex situations than smaller ones. The problem begins when complexity grows faster than organization capability. And let me give you a simple example. When you have 10 employees, informal communication works. People talk, information flows naturally. Everyone knows what is happening. But when you have 50 employees, informal communication starts breaking down. Now information gets lost. Messages become distorted. And the founder keeps on hearing a sentence, I thought somebody else was doing it. And it is not the founder who's becoming the bottleneck at this point in time. It's the system that is becoming the bottleneck because nobody is taking accountability. One of the biggest mental shifts that an entrepreneur must make is that the business that exists today is not the business that existed 5 years ago. But many entrepreneurs continue managing the same way. The company becomes larger, the team expands, customer expectations increase, but management practices remain unchanged. So let me ask you something. Take a piece of paper and a pen and think about this. Over the last 12 months, have problems become simpler or more complicated? Have decisions become easier or more difficult? Has communication become more clearer or more confusing? Has your role become lighter or heavier? The answers, ladies and gentlemen, when you put them on a rating scale of 1 to 10, 1 being low and 10 being the optimal, you will realize a low score reveals that your business is growing unstructured. And the problem that arises is that revenue is hiding everything. Because revenue can be deceptive, and when revenue is increasing, many internal weaknesses remain hidden. Cash flows may cover inefficiencies, founder effort may cover weak management, strong customer relationships may cover poor processes. And when things start crumbling, the entrepreneurs often feel surprised. The signs were always there, but we just refuse to see all of them. We talk about financial debt, but very few people talk about organizational debt. Or organization debt accumulates when processes are never documented, roles become unclear, responsibilities overlap, decisions are centralized, meeting replace accountability. People start relying on memory instead of system. The growth arrives, and suddenly years of accumulated organization debt demands repayment. And one of the clearest signs of unstructured growth is constant firefighting. Now, let's be honest, every business faces a crisis. That is normal. But some businesses live in a crisis mode. Every day brings a new emergency, a customer issue, a production issue, a people issue, a quality issue, a collection issue, and the founder becomes highly skilled at solving emergencies. But solving emergencies is not the same as building capability. When businesses are busy, everyone feels productive. Phones are ringing, meetings are happening, problems are being solved. But activity and progress is not the same thing. A business can be extremely busy while becoming increasingly inefficient. And when entrepreneurs only realize this, then growth starts slowing down. And this is the emotional cost of unstructured growth. Because unstructured growth doesn't affect operation, it affects people, especially founders. When business uncertainty increases, stress increases. When stress increases, the decision quality declines. And eventually, entrepreneurs start carrying that emotional fatigue. Not because they lack capability, because now they're compensating for structural weakness every single day. The goal is not bigger may sound surprisingly, but scaling is not about becoming bigger. Scaling is about becoming stronger. A stronger business is not one with more revenue. A stronger business is one that can handle complexity effectively. A stronger business is one where growth does not automatically create chaos. And the most impressive businesses I have seen are not someone that is fast growing. They are the ones that are most organized. There's clarity. People know their responsibilities. Communication is structured. Decisions happen at the right level. Problems are addressed systematically. And because of that, growth feels calmer. Not easy, but growth is calm. At some stage, founders must stop asking, how do we grow? And start asking, can our organization support the growth we are creating? And these are extremely different questions. One focuses on opportunity, the other focuses on capability. Long term success requires both opportunity and capability. For this week, I want you to reflect on something. I want you to think about your own business. If business doubled over the next 2 years, who would break first? Would it be communication? Would it be people? Would it be systems? Would it be customer service? Would it be decision making? Because the answer to this question reveals where your business needs strengthening. In our next episode, we move on to one of the most important elements of leadership, and that is delegation without losing control. Because every entrepreneur understands delegation in theory, but emotionally, delegation is much, much harder. How do you trust people? How do you maintain standards? How do you avoid becoming a bottleneck? And this is exactly what we are going to explore next week. As we wrap up today, the final thought: growth is not tested when everything is going well. Growth is tested when the business becomes larger than the systems that support it. And entrepreneurs who recognize these early are the ones who build organizations that scale smoothly, sustainably, and profitably. Thank you very much for being with me this Monday morning, the 15th of June, probably that opportunity day where we were all looking forward to. I shall see you on the other side next Monday, same place, same time, with delegation. Delegation for an entrepreneur, the most difficult thing to do. Till then, take care. God bless. Have a fantastic week. And I shall see you on the other side.